I'm a Procreate artist who just recently bought Clip Studio Paint and an XPPen tablet, and I am in love. Let me tell you why. Not sponsored, but would love to be. I love Procreate. It is my bread and butter. I use it nearly every day, but very early on I noticed some not so small problems. One of the main ones is lack of layers. That really messes with me because I use a lot of layers. Almost every element has its own layer, and then another layer for its shadows, and then another for the highlights, etc. Procreate greatly limits how many you can have depending on the size of your canvas, and I think your DPI, which is honestly non-negotiable for me because it at least needs to be at 300. I was also getting frustrated on the way you had to merge layers, but I found a good way to do that. But still, there was also certain functions that it doesn't have, like lens blur. It looks better to me in my opinion than Gaussian blur, and even though I don't use it, the liquify tool, it doesn't seem very helpful at all. And from what I've heard from other artists, they say it sucks compared to Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint, so yeah. It was just a bunch of small minor irritations that slowly builded up into major pains. I just kept thinking that there had to be a more efficient and quicker way to do things. So after seeing a certain artist, I honestly forgot which one, make a art piece using Clip Studio, and I saw her use a lens blur feature, I lost it. For some reason, that just tipped me over the edge on how beautiful lens blur looks compared to Gaussian blur, and I delved into research on how much it would cost to have Clip Studio for a month to test it out. Now, this isn't my first time using Clip Studio. In fact, me and my sister actually had it as kids back when it was still called Manga Studio, but we weren't really serious about it, so it just sits buried somewhere in our house as an old relic. I also had tried downloading it about a year or two ago from my iPad, but as soon as I got it, I instantly quit because the buttons/options were so small on my iPad that it quite literally hurt my eyes trying to use it. And yes, I know there's a simple mode, but I wanted the full experience of the software, not a watered down version. But fast forward years later, as of present day, I installed it onto my MacBook. But immediately upon opening it, my face was hit with what felt like a grenade. You know that one meme with the cockpit? That's what it felt like. 1,000,000,001 tools and options and features all firing like gladiators on my screen for my attention. I wanted to shut the whole thing down. Again. I was so overwhelmed, and yet at the same time I felt as if I was home. I just knew that any and everything that I could possibly need was in this software. I just needed to learn how to use it now. But so far I'm loving it. So I bought the XPPen 13.3 Artist Pro V2. That's a whole mouthful, guys. Because after trying Clip Studio Paint on the iPad, not only was the interface too small, but the way the brushes felt using the Apple Pencil was absolute garbage. It felt like I was dragging it along and digging into my screen just to get it to work. But using the tablet, bro, when I tell you I've been so excited to draw digitally, I mean it. All the brushes, or rather most of them, just feel so much better than using the Apple Pencil. They just feel real, and I've been so excited to just go through the whole library and just test them all out. And the best part is, unlike Procreate, was sometimes in order to get a good brush, you have to buy someone else's. On Clip Studio Paint, a lot of the brushes are basically free, which is the majority of, I have not had to pay a single cent for any of the brushes that I currently have in Clip Studio Paint, which is absolutely amazing, and they're super, super good. Or at least some of the ones that I tried. Some are better than others. Some are just not for me, but I definitely like a couple of them. Especially compared to Procreate, maybe it's honestly just using a 6K pen pressure stylus that's doing the trick, but I really like the brushes in Clip Studio way better than the Procreate ones. Also, this is my original character knight. He is actually part of the story of the two princesses that I made a while ago. He doesn't have a name yet, but I'm gonna call him our knight because that's what he is to them and us. Our knight in bloody armor, I guess. I also told myself I would never buy a drawing tablet because most, if not all of them, have to be connected to a computer, and I don't have a big MacBook or Windows setup. I just have well, my regular MacBook, you know what I mean, I'm like the regular computers. I only have my MacBook, and I didn't want to carry two big objects around with me, but I just love the way that this feels, the XPPen stylus feels, and the big screen, that I guess I'm gonna have to make a compromise, guys. I guess I'm gonna have to do that because it just feels really, really great and nice just drawing digitally. Not that it didn't feel nice drawing or Procreate, but this just feels so much better. So I think it's a combination of Clip Studio Paint and the XPPen tablet. Again, not sponsored, but I would love to be.